Don't you dare let her tremble alone. For the Wicher, heartless cold, paid in coin of gold. He'll come, he'll go, leave naught behind but heartache and woe. Deep, deep woe.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to our season 1 finale, episode 8 of The Witcher Legacy. I am Simon at Wandering DM. I'll be GMing tonight's game. Before we go into the game proper, I would just like to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's game, starting with Artalsorian Games, the makers of Cyberpunk and The Witcher. They have a new book that we've showcased last week with The Frightener, the new Witcher bestiary, the Witcher's Journal, coming out, I think it's at the end of this week. I don't remember if they've announced it publicly, but I think they did. So, check it out. It's going to be out very, very soon. Coming out Thursday. So, it's a wealth of monsters, as well as lore about said monsters, and lore about the very first Griffin Witcher, and how they lived their life. So, there's that. And then we have... as our sponsors for tonight, Found Familiar, the great coffee company. Check them out, foundfamiliar.com. I'm currently, for once, not drinking coffee at the start of a stream because it's just too damn warm. But check them out, foundfamiliar.com, or check the panels down below. Our other sponsors is, of course, Mage and Press, makers of 5th edition D&D supplements. Check them out at store.mageandpress.com, or use the link in chat. Use the panel down below. You can use code WanderingDM to get 15% off your purchases. And lastly, we have Roll20, the virtual tabletop on which we've been playing all of our games so far. That's what you see on the overlay. That's where we roll our dice and all that stuff. So check them out at roll20.net. And of course, I would not miss a chance to talk about our sponsors through the Diceomancy program. Level Up Dice, if you want to get some shiny new dice to play games whenever we're allowed to play physically, or if your GM allows you in their games to have you roll physical dice, even if it's in virtual space, check out Level Up Dice using the purple torch down below. Greetings, players. Thank you for coming. Why don't we go around the overlay? Introduce yourselves, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and we'll get this game going. We'll begin with... We'll keep Kayla for last, so we'll begin with Gabe this week.
All right. Hello, I am Gabe James Games on Twitch, Twitter, and pretty much anywhere else on the internet. Today I am playing Ovos, the Elven Witcher, who now has a child that is a rat school witcher. So we'll see how that goes. I'm very excited. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I feel bad that I let the man get away. So if I'm lucky, he's going to die. If I'm lucky.
If he's lucky, he's going to die.
Ominous.
Next up is Kika.
Hi, I'm Kika. Just role player, indie game designer. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/KikaVio and here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Kika. I am playing our group's mage, Ven Hemling, who is also an elf, also very strange and very much herself. I don't know what more to say because I wasn't here last week.
That's okay. We'll move on to I was gonna say Kayla. Kelly then.
Hi, I'm Kelly at the Opera Geek on Twitter, Twitch, everywhere fine beverages are sold, except YouTube, where someone took it first. I am playing Sisha of Gwen Creasa, who was not in the climactic battle last week. She was off doing something else. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting episode because she really wants to get her hands on the guy that's experimenting on little kids.
And last but not least, coming in with a new character tonight. Kayla, why don't you tell us about who you're playing tonight?
Hey guys, I am Kayla RBG. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Koros RPG. And for the most of these episodes, I've been playing Chena, the human mercenary captain. But tonight I'm going to be playing Breaker because due to her death, I've had to choose somebody else. So.
And for everyone, just in a few words, like, who is Breaker?
Breaker is he's a dwarf. He's got curly black hair, long beard that he keeps kind of bound. He's got kind of done up in like a semi-man bun, so there's a little top knot in the back, but there's still locks going down. Breaker was Shayna's enforcer and army trainer, and one of her closest friends. So he's loud, verbose, but caring, and he's very loyal.
And we'll begin tonight with a little rewind of our last session. We'll begin with Sisha, actually. After the party split in the orphanage, Sisha went to look at the repository. I won't call it really a library because it's just a mess of books on shelves and tables. But the stash of information that Erwin Heisen had kept under the orphanage, while Chena and Ovos were going their way following Bran. Sisha.
Yes.
It doesn't take long for you to reach where the books were. I mean, not that they were within arm's reach when you saw them, but it is a very short corridor that leads to this small room. It probably used to be a like a storage closet before, or like a very small cellar. And you make your way in. You notice that there are 2 candles, currently extinguished, that could be used to light up the room and see. Otherwise, it is fairly dark in here. Dark enough that without, let's say, a potion, you couldn't sit down and read the books without lighting the candles. But otherwise, you can make out barely the title or sometimes the writing in some of the books.
Well, since Roll20 just decided to shut on me,
Oh no.
I know I have the recipe for cat, but I think I took it. I already took my only cat potion. So she will light 1 candle, because hopefully with her enhanced sight, 1 candle will be enough for her to carry around and see if she can make out the books, and if she recognizes anything that looks like the one that they took from the mayor of the town.
visually similar, like from the cover. None of them look like the one you had seen. However, by flipping through the pages, you notice that a lot of them are alchemical treatises. Many of them are severely annotated to the point where whoever annotated these documents like didn't bother and to write in the margins and like wrote over previous text with what they had discovered. The notes are all in Nordling, but the original texts vary between Elder Speech, I'd say an older form of Nordling, and like a very, some of them have like a very not scientific vocabulary, but like a very specific vocabulary to it.
Okay, I do speak both languages.
So you could,
So,
like, you can make out what's in these books mostly.
do I find I'm specifically searching for any diagrams or anything relating to the other manuscripts we'd found, or even information about the experiments that he's been doing.
I'm not going to ask you to roll since you're not in any hurry, really. And the sound from the fight doesn't carry to where you are. Taking a few minutes to go through the books, you find a series of tomes. Within each is like a very elaborate step of the trials of the grasses. However, these books are incomplete. In the sense, not that they weren't finished, but that someone ripped pages out of them. And the person that annotated them would add like loose sheets at the end of each book to try to figure out how these diagrams should end, what the result should have been. They are, of course, flawed. I mean, you don't know the exact recipe either, but looking at what is found therein, like, it clearly doesn't come from the mind of an alchemist. There are glaring flaws, like ingredients that are used that you realize that these two ingredients put together would cancel one another. So, like, maybe not create any ill, but might create a very bad side effect.
Okay.
And in some of the books, you also have, and you have to sort of piece that information together, but you get like the beginning of Heisen's plan to create a Witcher school. It seems that they... you're muted.
Do I recognize any of the handwriting on any of the diagrams?
Yes. Many of them are in Serowin's. Not the drawings, because it's kind of hard to like identify a handwriting from like a drawing, but like a lot of the original text, yes, that was him. And it's well written. It is very old and almost faded.
Any book I find that mentions either his creation or has the diagrams, I would like to put in my bag that I have with me if I can fit. If I cannot fit the book, I will rip the pages out.
Let me check something very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a bag, and a
Mhm.
backpack can fit. I'm going into like Warhammer minutia right now, but I just want to see. Container, bag. Where the hell is it?
Mm,
I guess it's satchel. Is
that
what you have?
works.
Yeah,
That
because
works.
otherwise it's like a big cloth sack.
I'm
So
not Santa Claus.
um, it's encumbrance 30. And so the books are probably, you could probably fit a good like 4 books in a satchel. It'd be very tight, but like it works. They're not like very big tomes. Like it's mostly they're the size of like paperback novels.
Okay. Um, so is that about how many books that there are of this information, or are there more?
You'd be able to carry at the very least all of them that pertain to the trials.
All right. So that's
If
what I'll
you
do, because I do want to destroy them, but this room is also attached to the orphanage, and I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, you are about 20-25 feet below the orphanage.
Yeah, I don't want to risk the kids going up in flames. So she will take everything that she can, which I assume would take her a little bit of time. You know, she probably takes some pause over seeing Selwyn's writings in there. But she'll take all of that and trying to think. Yeah, I mean, pertaining to the trials, and then anything that he has written about his attempts to build the school. If she can't fit it, she's going to shred it.
Those are mostly found throughout the books about the
Okay.
trials.
Okay.
There's one slightly bigger tome. It's not a tome. It's a bunch of paper tied together by a rope, and it seems to act as a ledger with a lot of transactions in it for both
Oh.
alchemical items, ingredients, and also certain packages that were delivered. Some of them in. Give me 2 seconds. Get out of there, Frightener. I need my map. Some of them were sold to Bruges. Some of them were sold in a few cities in Nilfgaard. Belhaven was one of them. There are some that were sold in Kedwin, in Adern. Every time when you look at the amount, Bruges is the one that he made the most money out of.
Okay.
And there's a persistent amount of money that is taken from Heisen's account, let's say, or whatever wealth he has, and sent to Kovier.
Well, we're going to take the ledger too then.
More specifically, not Kovier, to Hangsford.
Okay. So yes, we're going to take the ledger too, because even if I don't know some of the names on it, I have the acquaintance of a certain court mage who might, and she might be interested to know who's trafficking in possibly banned alchemical supplies. So I will take all of that. Plus, I want to track them down and beat the truth out of them. So, as you do.
So you gather that. You
Mhm.
leave. You leave a good portion of the books there. Most of the other books, looking at them very quickly, are treatises on monsters, for the most part. Like what you would expect an apprentice witcher to have in like their school.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can't really do anything about those. So I'm just going to take everything that would pertain to his school and his attempts to do the trials.
Okay. As you take all of that, can you make an awareness check for me?
Mm-hmm. 17.
You notice that the rest of the books that are there, the titles are reminiscent of books that you've read before, or you were forced to read in your younger years.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just a reminiscence. You realize that those are the actual books. And just to make sure, you go to one on ghouls and all ghouls and flip through the pages. And there it is. Like all the silly drawings that other kids have made in the book. They're all there as you remember them.
She's going to file that under come back and deal with this later after we take care of the person doing this, because she doesn't think the books are going anywhere. She also makes a mental note to track down Selwyn. And then she would probably go to whatever designated meeting point they had.
Which would be down the corridor that Ovos and Chena took.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You head that way. We're gonna pan the camera back up outside the orphanage where Ven currently is. Ven, if you were to stand guard, to act as a vigil, would you be in your elven form or your raven form?
Probably Raven.
Okay. You look around. You know that what the rest of the group said is basically they're just going to go with the kid inside the orphanage and get a meeting with the master. The name that the kid gave of whoever was in charge of the school. And it's been a few minutes. Nothing unusual there. But you begin to notice in the distance, since you're a bird, you can basically perch yourself wherever you want, or even fly around if you so wanted. But you notice these purple clouds.
That's not normal.
No. Following the clouds with your gaze, you happen to see that they emanate from the temple quarter.
Do I have any sort of idea of what might be causing this? Like, are they alchemical vapors or something conjured or something?
I'll say roll magical training.
All right. How's a clean? What is that, like a 23 or 33?
33, yeah. All right, so yeah, you easily identify it, both by sight and by the sensation that you have in your tiny bird chest. It starts to itch, and to itch real bad. And then you see that it's not that this cloud is necessarily purple in color, is because there's a lot of tiny, like, purple color pollen in it. And then it strikes you, the itching, the color, that's dimeridium. The material that is anathema to magic. If you were to breathe this in, you would probably lose all of your magic. It's so bad that, you know, if you give a mage a dimeridium ring on their fingers, it's enough to make them incapable of casting spells while they wear the ring, and it hurts like a bitch.
Oh gosh. Right, do I know of anyone? Do I know if anyone from the group is in that area right
You
now?
remember Chena came back from that direction last week.
Okay.
Well,
came
that
back.
would be in the last episode, yeah.
Okay. And I think I should probably go report this to the closest person. Like right away. Cause Ven is like very reliant on her magic and doesn't know what to do about clouds of anti-magic.
So you would go inside the orphanage?
Yeah.
All right. As a bird or as a person?
I'd probably fly down, turn into a person, like right as I was about to land on the ground, and like keep my momentum and keep like walking. Like I wouldn't be running, but I'd be like definitely like determined walking.
Oddly enough, can you make a spell casting check?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's fine. 22.
Yeah. It's the first time that you actually have to actively focus on changing form. Like, normally it's as easy for you as breathing. Except that this time you had to just, for a split second, think about it. Think about what you want it to look like.
Okay. I need an adult.
And you go into the orphanage?
Yes.
Well, surprisingly, there are no adults. But you notice when you come in, there's a room to your left, which is a rectangular room, very long, about like 40, 50 feet long by about 20 feet wide. It contains along the walls rows of bunk beds. And sitting on those bunk beds or lying down on some of them are a bunch of kids. Ages vary between about 4 to 9 years old. Some of the first ones, the ones closest to you, look ill, sick, with like a fever. Other kids are taking care of them. The other children that are there, they all look to be cosplaying witchers. Like with tiny gambazons and little medallions with a rat on them. And they look at you suspiciously as you come in. There's another...
Hello.
Oh, sorry.
Hello, small children. Could you point me in the direction of someone that is taller than you?
One
That
of the
seems to be
kids...
somewhat responsible.
Oh, they were about to point at you, but then they point in the other direction. I say they went that way.
Thank you. Gosh. Do I think that if like these kids start inhaling the dimeridium, would it make them sicker?
Looking at the kids here, you don't believe any of them have the ability to cast spells yet. Or even Witcher signs. Like, they don't seem to have been trained in that. You could make another magical training check to, like, sense, actively sense each child to see if one of them could be a potential
I
problem.
don't feel like I have time for that, so I will just turn and go off to where they pointed.
All right. So you go down a flight of stairs, well, several flights of stairs that lead down to old smuggler tunnels. As you walk through these tunnels, you happen upon a crossroad at some point, an intersection. To your right is a small corridor leading to a smaller room with books. To the left, corridor goes down in the darkness. You can't really see what's there, but you do believe that there might be a door at the end. It's either that or a dead end. And then the corridor facing you goes down in a slight slope, but it keeps going into the darkness.
Well, do I have any reason to believe that I should keep my presence hidden here?
You don't hear sounds of combat, but you also don't hear sounds of conversations. Make that what you will, but the party did say that they were going to dialogue with whoever was in charge.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Gosh. And is there like any indication of where someone might have like most recently gone, like maybe like a muddy footprint or something?
Sisha, what did you use a sign to light the candle?
I probably would have out of habit.
Okay. So you notice the faint, like, telltale aura of magic around the candle, meaning that someone used magic to light it. And then looking around, you get like a feeling that whoever cast this spell went forward and not into the left corridor.
Well, forward we go.
You will happen upon the scene about a minute after Sisha. A circular room, giant in size. Well, giant. What was it, like 40, 50 feet diameter? With a flight of stairs at the other end that lead up to let's call it a throne made out of fur and wood, with another staircase behind said throne going up into the darkness. In the middle of this circular room lies the body of an immense, disgusting creature. It looks like a cross between a spider and a crab. Yet it has a distinctly human skull-like face to it. Here's the image, again, on the Roll20 for the players. It's got two big mandibles on each side of the skull, and smaller, chittering. Well, they're not moving anymore. That beast is dead.
Ven is glad for that.
And in the room, standing still over Shena's body, is Ovos and that little boy that you saw on the streets of Novigrad. Well, you would have seen Kika that introduced in last session, but they go by the name of Bran of Oxenford, a small, dark-skinned boy. I don't recall, Gabe. What was their hairstyle again?
We never actually. I don't know if we actually said anything, but let's make him bald. That's cool.
All right, bald. Because I know they took their hood off. They had
Little
a hood
kid
on.
bald.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just completely shaved.
Yeah. It's like a real short buzz cut. It's because he doesn't want his hair flowing in the wind. It gets in his face and it's distracting. Because he's a witcher.
Keeps the bugs out too.
He's a witcher.
And yeah, that's who you see.
Does the little kid like shave his head with a knife because he wants to be a witcher that bad? He wants to be like cool.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you can't get tetanus anyway as a witcher, so.
Ovos?
Sisha would have already hefted her bag up, around behind her back and walked over to both check the body of the Frightener and also Chena to see if anything can be done. Maybe Ovos just ran out of first aid supplies. I don't know.
Kind of just sling Shane over my shoulder.
Is the
In full plate mail?
I'm strong.
Okay.
He's very strong.
the Nilfgaardian deceased?
Yes.
Well, more and more trouble. There are clouds of dimeridium vapors above the city coming from the temple district, and I am very concerned.
What?
Dimeridium clouds?
Yes. It even now is somewhat affecting my spellcasting, I fear.
Did he just come out of nowhere?
From the temple district.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
This sounds like a premeditated act of war.
Yes, I am inclined to agree. And if we are to investigate, I would, as loath as I am to table this suggestion, perhaps I would suggest we travel underground so we're not inhaling it.
It makes sense, actually.
Yes. We will have to go above ground long enough to... Well, it shouldn't affect Ovos and myself nearly as much as it affects you.
Or as long as you don't need to cast.
Yes, and as long as I don't need to keep my thumbs.
I mean, Dimeridium would affect Witchers casting signs, but it wouldn't affect them long term the same way it would affect a mage.
Yeah.
It's more the cough, cough, roll, roll stuff that Geralt does in the games.
Mhm.
Witchers get.
It's because you're not as magical as a mage, the reaction cannot go all the way to... Think of it like an allergic reaction.
Mhm.
Yours cannot be a anaphylactic shock. Like, it cannot go all the way up to there. But you can get some very, very bad side effects of it.
Mhm. Although if we hurry, maybe it won't have taken over the Rosemary in time yet. Although, I'm willing to bet Zoltan has a basement.
You ought to speak too much. I'm just trying to get this body back to the people.
That's what we're trying to do. So, I guess I would want to see if we can find a way underground to get to underneath the Rosemary and Thyme.
Ovos and Bran would remember Hyzin leaving through, like, the back, like, behind the throne.
Mm-hmm.
But even Bran doesn't know where that leads.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we really have another choice.
Might as well.
And also, if that is where the man we were going to kill went, that's where we have to go.
Easy enough.
All right, so Sisha would go forward first to kind of make sure, because Ovos is encumbered.
On hearing that there's someone that the Witchers intend to kill, then takes out her bow and readies it.
Okay.
That's fair.
Do any of you take the time to, like, harvest stuff out of the Frightener?
Oh.
I mean, I think the Witchers, one of us would have done it on habit, force of habit, if nothing else.
So it probably would have happened after the fight before picking her up if you would allow that retroactively.
Sure. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
So let me just give
Heckin'
you.
mess.
Okay, that's chitin scale and infused dust and all that jazz. All right. I'm gonna give them to you in like their like alchemical components instead of
Cool. And ways that we can actually use them.
yeah, that's it. And instead of just the basic like, hey, you got a claw, but you don't know what it does. All right. So you get down to it, and it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It takes 5 minutes to harvest everything.
That's not terrible.
Okay, where's chitin? That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. All right, well, there's one thing I can tell you right away that you both you can find without without, like, having to go into the alchemical components and all that. You have 3 doses of infused dust, 5 doses of fifth essence. Then you get 1 Fulgur. You get 1 soul from the claws and the eyes. Actually, only 1 eye and 1 claw was salvageable. The other claw was destroyed, remember, by Chena during the fight. And so that wasn't... that was not salvageable. And the rest are basically 12, they call them units. 12 units of scales. Of chitinous scale. And it's not in the book. What the hell? How can it not be there? They probably go by another name. Yeah, there we go. Found them. It's vermilion. And it's 12 units of vermilion.
Oh, nice.
Which is something you barely had before, so congrats.
In that case, in character, I will ask, did she have any information that we need and did not have personally?
Ooh,
The Nilfgaardian.
I don't know. Hope not.
She went to the embassy with Zoltan. Zoltan would know what happened there, but that's all I know.
If she did, it's lost. She's dead.
Well, I mean, just because she's dead doesn't mean it's lost.
Sisha will turn and just stare at Ben. It is lost. There are things you don't do, regardless of whether or not you went to a mage school. There are
First off,
things.
I did not go to any school. Second off, I don't
That's what I'm
appreciate
saying.
a human taking tone with me, telling me what to do in my own plane.
Not a human.
Ovo
She
slams a sword down and says, "A woman is dead, and you bicker. Let us leave. Now. Come, boy."
Oh man, you're just gonna go full
Shut
on
up!
Kratos, aren't you? Boy. My axe.
But I'm
Can you
gonna
just
ask.
carry an axe now, please?
I'm gonna ask Bran to get the silver sword.
That Chena had?
Yeah, and then give it to Sisha.
Thank you. She'll look at the kid and kind of measure him up. One day.
That is probably the nicest thing you would ever hear.
Correct. Continue on to the Rosemary and Thyme.
So you exit through the... Well, actually, you don't. You get up the stairs behind the throne and are kind of faced with a wall.
Investigation?
I mean, if you want.
Obviously, this guy got out here somehow.
Oh yeah, that's right. I couldn't see what the hell he did.
No dexterity. It's going to be under deduction, I guess, is what it is here. Is that what it is?
You could go... Yeah, I figured deduction's going to work. Yeah.
Natural 20. So crit 28.
It takes a few minutes of inspecting the wall to see that some of the bricks are, like, they protrude a bit more from the wall than others.
Mm-hmm.
And then just pressing them in order lets you... it unlocks this section of the wall, and it lets you push on it to open it. You'll realize that the wall will close back up the moment someone stops pushing on it. So you...
I was muted. I said Sisha is going to keep it open so everybody can get through, and then kind of do that weird roll thing you do to kind of get around the edge of a door.
All right. Once it closes again, you'll realize with that 28 in deduction that, yeah, you won't be able to reopen it from this side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What? Oh, there we go. I don't know. My camera went dead for a second. Good.
After a few minutes of walking down the smuggler tunnels under Novigrad, you happen upon the half-opened like sewer gate that leads into the Novigrad sewers. From there, if you are able to pinpoint your location, you could walk back to the Rosemary and Thyme without getting to the surface. Well, except for that last little part where you're going to have to exit the sewers.
I figure that I would probably go up and check, or have the kid go up and check, because he can't cast signs yet, to see if the clouds had made it as far as the inn. Can I use your child as canary, please?
I'd go check.
What'd you
go
say?
check?
I go check.
All right.
As soon as she asks.
Then Ovos, make a perception, an awareness check then.
All right. Better than you, child. I'm your dad.
Well, Ven said there was a cloud. It seems to be a very big cloud because it almost covers the whole city now.
This is a very big cloud that covers almost the whole city.
Should we abandon the city as well, like we've done the past few?
You know?
Sisha would like to kind of walk up further in the sewers to see if she can find any kind of entrance to the Rosemary and Thyme up through their basement, just on a whim.
You would need to figure out where the Rosemary and Thyme is and get there first.
I mean, I would ask Ovos what he saw when he went up, what buildings we were at.
Oh, okay.
We're probably fine to just walk through the streets if it is not seeking us, if it does not harm us.
Then we'll become unable to do any kind of magic.
Permanently or just while in the fog?
If I remember, Simon, the effects of Dimeridium last a while.
Yeah,
Correct?
But do we know that?
but it's
Is-
not a fog that clings to the streets.
We use Dimeridium. Witches use Dimeridium.
You haven't used
Impossible.
Dimeridium in this game necessarily, but
No, but we would have studied it.
Yeah, everyone more or less would know that Dimeridium doesn't work with magic. That said, it's not, just to clarify, it is a cloud in the sky.
Yes.
It is not
Okay.
on the streets or anything.
And it's something we're assuming is by breathing in that's the issue?
Then did you explain what happened to you when you were outside?
I probably would. I did mention that it had some effect on me, it seemed.
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
Because if it's breathing, we could try to make a mask of some sorts. But if we can move while it's not bad, that would probably be his suggestion. Move while it's not bad. So if we can't move when it's worse, then we're a better place quicker.
I mean-
suppose.
I think it's the only option.
Better to be there than stuck in the sewers, and when we finally surface, the cloud encompasses the whole city, and it's too late.
So she would look at Ven and say, "Can you run?"
I can do more than run.
All right.
Go as fast as you can, then. We'll be behind you.
Well, so I guess I'm leading the way.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep,
it's more that we want to get you out of it before
Yeah.
the quickest.
So I'm gonna do me a sprint.
All right. So long as you're not casting spells while you're running madly across the streets of Novigrad, you just feel like your lungs are burning. more than usual. Like if you had done like a lot of physical exercise and you feel that burning in your lungs, even though you haven't run for a long time, that's how you feel at the moment. But you can reach, unless you wanted to cast or do something magical, you can reach the rosemary without having to roll, like to make any roll. As you enter,
Just through the door.
yeah, like burst through the door. Zoltan is there, with a mug in his hand. He's talking to like a few of the mercenaries from Chena's band. Everyone turns around.
I suggest we prepare to abscond.
Whoa, what's going on?
Have you looked outside?
Not today.
Look outside. And up.
Zoltan goes to the window. While this is happening, Breaker, you cannot help but notice that Ovos is carrying your captain slung on his shoulder.
He was at the bar having a drink, and when he sees this, like, he gets this confused look on his face. And then his, like, face drops. And he lets go of the mug, and he stands up. Shay? What the hell happened?
A big old beastie is what happened.
Put her down. Put her down this instant.
And I'll gently put her down.
And he rushes to her. Shay. And he slaps her across the face. Shay! Wake up!
One would assume there was a lot of blood everywhere, so I don't think she's going to wake up.
He just... Y'all no magic? Heal her!
Not that kind of magic.
Well,
What about her? And he points to Ven.
if you want me to do anything, you'll have to take it up with the witches.
You can't resurrect. There's no resurrection of the dead. They're
How-
dead.
What do you mean a beastie?
Big. Claws. Mandibles. Skull face.
Large teeth.
Big.
Like, stops and almost like falls on his ass. Just staring at her. Did she say anything before she died?
She, said she was proud.
Whose beastie was it?
A strange man. He ran off. I'm not sure where he went.
Is it these fucking rat witches she told me about? Is it?
It is the one who is trying to make them.
And you see him get up, and he pulls the giant maul from his back, and he just looks at her for what seems like 2 minutes. Then he lets off this like giant roar and just smashes one of the chairs with it.
Okay, not sure. Is this anger?
I believe he's angry.
Zoltan.
Men.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
We have a grave to bury. And he just looks at y'all, and there's like this mix of sadness and like almost just pure rage as he just helps the rest of his group pick her up, and they take her out back. Does Zoltan say anything? Sorry.
Yeah, Zoltan says, one. I'll let that one slide. But, you're not burying your captain in here. There's nowhere to bury. The closest cemetery is outside of the town wall. And, judging by what's outside, I do believe that you might want to get out of town. The air might be fresher.
Fine. Men, we're moving out. Get the damn cart. Let's go.
Direction would you suggest we go?
Away.
Not you.
Oh, me?
Zoltan? Yes.
Wherever the... There's no hell in this world. Wherever the fuck you want. Is your business in town settled?
No. At least mine isn't. I would assume Ovos would like to clear it up as well.
It is more a favor for the small one.
We can go with that.
The kid, by the way, Bran, looks totally out of place here. He's just staring at the walls, at the ceiling, at everything.
I abruptly just pick him up and put him on my shoulders.
Would you like me to take the child somewhere safer?
I don't think the child will be safer anywhere else. With 2 witchers and a sorceress, it's probably the safest place for this child to be in the entire city.
Maybe in other places, but not so much with what's happening right now.
So you would suggest where?
Anywhere.
For anywhere else, we would have to take them there.
Yes.
So, but where?
Pick a place.
Okay. I have something I may consider.
Barry, who up to now has been left to his own in the inn, walks up to Shena's body and sighs as he looks at the damage on her breastplate. He says, if you want, I can take us all away wherever you want. It should not be a problem, but I feel like before we do anything, maybe we should see to tying up loose ends. And he looks at both Ovos and Sisha when he says that, and then back at the mercenaries and says, and probably make sure your captain doesn't rise back as a wraith or a necrophage.
And Ven, wouldn't you like to know who released that cloud? Or do you want to see them do it in other cities?
I would rather not be inhaling that cloud personally. You're not very good at tempting me.
I am unpracticed on the subject. That is your line of work, not mine, I believe.
Hardly.
Either way, time is getting away from us. I suggest that we burn Chena, and then we go.
We can give her a proper burial later, if need be.
You're still not gonna hold a funeral in the Rosemary.
Ovos, I think we're wasting time. We need to catch up to this small person's creator.
Oh, is the small person a construct of some sort?
What? No, I'm a witcher. Well, I'm almost a witcher. But I did
Oh,
kill
no.
a monster. Well, that was my second one.
That's very impressive. What more do you need to do to become a Witcher?
And he looks at the top of Ovos' head and glances at Sisha and says, I have to get rid of my emotions.
Oh, that's dreadfully dull. Don't worry about that. In my opinion, it's a whole lot of trouble for very little reward.
Well,
Yeah.
with the master gone, I probably won't become a witcher.
Well, you have slain a monster and beast that is greater than some have ever seen. Maybe your concern is less about being a witcher and more about being stronger.
She did most of it. And he points to Chena.
I'm gonna take him off and put him back down, and then pat his head with that weird, like, dun, 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 kind of pat. Well, then continue to be brave so that you can honor a memory.
Bran, was there any other places that your former master, went?
He never told us where he would go, but
Did you follow him sometimes?
no, I didn't want to get punished. But there's a side effect. I'm sure you know more about it than I, because you're witchers and everything, but well, and he looks to Ovos and says, don't you attract cats?
I would not necessarily call it that, she says as she shoves her cat's head back down in her bag.
That does not happen to me.
So witchers aren't... Wow, shut the fuck up.
I attract cats, Simon.
Damn. No, stop. He says, so you're not constantly followed by the animals of your school?
No, that is not a Witcher thing. Your master was a liar.
Oh, but yeah, well, that was our only thing that we had to be careful of when we were going out of the orphanage. Is rats tend to follow in our footsteps and go where we go.
Sisha will stand up. Ovos. Where did we just see a lot of rats going into? Ben?
The
Oh,
Nilfgaardian embassy.
gross.
Hmm. Which happens to be near the temple ward.
I don't like politics.
You don't have to get involved with politics, you just have to stab people.
I can do that.
Which can be politics in some parts of the world, apparently.
Ugh, don't get me started.
The Nilfgaardian embassy was... That was where, that was where Anton was sent.
Is Anton your friend that got caught?
Yeah.
Hmm. Well then, shall we go?
Coming with you. Then don't try and stop me.
I mean, it would be a waste of effort
Waste of effort.
to stop you, yes. You're not a caster. This isn't going to affect you as much.
Might be affecting my rune a bit, and he pulls out the maul, and there's a little golden rune. It keeps like fixing.
Hmm.
But a weapon's still a weapon.
Blah, blah, blah. Sisha would look out the window to see if they've got a clear path.
So, by this time, it's not just one, like, cloud that is rising from the temple ward into the sky. As you look around, like, I figure you peer, like, every which way through the window. There are other columns of smoke forming dimeridium clouds.
We need to hurry.
Well, since my magic probably has a limited window of efficacy, I could possibly create a portal straight there.
That could
That-
be good.
That's smart.
It's very smart. I agree.
Just
Yes,
be
I saw
careful.
that lady in that other city do one, and I was just so tickled that I had to figure it out for myself.
I think she's talking about Tris Marigold.
Yes, that one.
Is somebody ever going to tell her who that is?
I don't pay attention to names. I don't even know who that is.
Ah,
The ginger. You can't trust her.
Trist Marigold. Ah,
Ah! That is why is that the reaction to her?
I got the same impression when I met her.
she's a fiery one.
Is it because she is a ginger?
Well, you would think that, but it's also because she's very good with fire magic.
Hmm.
This banter's all cute and all, but can we get going? I want to
Oh,
rip
yes.
his
What's
jaw
up?
out of his screaming face.
Oh, I've got something better planned. Don't worry.
By all means, cast away. Just don't ask me to go through.
And
Do you hate portals?
I've always been told they were problematic.
Hmm. Perfectly safe.
last one I went into, I puked.
It's kind of a natural reaction. Ven?
Given that this is my first time doing this, I do hope it is perfectly safe. Because I wouldn't know otherwise.
All right, good. Standing portal. Okay. The portal can transport anything that fits through it. You and the portal with something's partially. Yeah, you can chop people in half.
Mm-hmm.
As per teleportation, that's what I wanted to check.
I have been to the Nilfgaardian embassy though.
Yes, you have been there, so I don't think there's going to be any like problems with it.
And she looked in the window, so she actually knows the layout in that one room.
Yes.
So
Um,
let's just go right into that room.
All right.
I feel like no matter what, a portal appearing is going to draw attention. So I feel like we should get like as in it and as like smash and grabby position to we can be in.
Sisha will draw out her sword, her steel sword.
All right. That's going to cost you 22 stamina to cast, minus whatever focuses you have.
Yes, I already factored that.
Okay, cool. And you're going to need to cast roll spellcasting, just to see in case you roll a fumble.
Please don't fumble. Ooh, 21.
Yeah, you're good. The 5 of you. Well, is Bran coming along?
Yes.
Okay. So the 5 of you go in the portal with Ven closing the marching order, and that's where we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
Because you know what? Shit's about to go down.
Oh, great. Combat. Oh, wait, Simon.
What?
Did we draw cards?
No, we're gonna need to draw them when we come back from break.
Okay.
So stick
So
around,
I want
everyone.
my damage.
Yeah, stick around, everyone. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes.
The Dolly dreams have flown. Don't you dare let her tremble alone. For the Wicher, heartless cold, paid in coin of gold. He'll come, he'll go, leave naught behind but heartache and woe. Deep, deep woe.
Hey everyone, we're back. So, the portal opens in the room that Ven had spied in earlier today. Before the group steps out of the portal, I would ask all of my players to roll what's left on the Gwent deck. Since this is our Season 1 finale, and you, dear viewers, have been very generous. So we're gonna have to go through these cards, because I do not want to leave you wanting. So we'll start with the first roll of cards. Just let me know what you've rolled,
10.
and I will add them to the list.
20.
11.
All right, wait. In
It's weird
order,
that there's two
Ovo
ascending.
said 10 first.
Yep.
That's clear skies. Clears everything in play. So everyone regains 5 max HP.
Yes.
But everyone deals 2 less points of damage, because Saskia is out.
Don't worry. I was just cleaning the palette so we can ruin it again.
Yeah, well, you also cleaned out Ithlin, so you are now 3/3 farther from the end of the world.
Yeah, we have no more end of the world play.
Yeah. Sorry, my computer is like lagging bad for some reason.
Time to redraw all those Ithlin cards.
All right, so who's next? Who rolled second?
11.
Kayla.
11? Jigstra, I get to fuck up one of your plans.
Not again. I don't.
All right, next.
20.
20. Medic. During the game today, any one player can heal 1 critical wound.
Oh.
Oh, doing great last week, Simon.
I'm sorry.
21.
21. Plague. Everyone loses 5 max HP.
God damn it.
Well, we have 7 cards to draw, which means that 3 of you will get to roll again. You know what? We'll do everyone rolls again. I'll be generous.
Oh shit. That's great and also terrifying.
I got a 1.
Fuck.
Is that good or bad?
What's up with all those...
I'll roll again.
Sure. What's up with all those low numbers?
I got a 4.
Do
Okay.
you want higher?
So, Kika, you got a 1.
Yeah.
Assassinate is out. Everyone deals double damage after armor.
Yay.
Including monsters, though.
That's
Yes.
fine. There's 4 of us.
Next. What was the next roll?
Ovos with a 3.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Gabe.
Shut up, Simon.
Tougher monsters. All my monsters now have +3 to everything.
Stupid.
Well,
Rolled a
+3 to just
4.
their rolls, by the way, not the stats or anything like that.
Oh.
Next. Who is next?
4.
4. Chaos Power. Signs and spells cost 2 less to cast. And the last one is...
18.
we're going back with Ithelin. Thank you so much, everyone, for donating. Tonight's boss fight is going to be very interesting. So, how did you plan on exiting the portal? I heard earlier about a like smash and grab preparedness or something like that.
Yeah, Sisha's gonna already have her sword out and be ready to cast.
What about everybody else?
Breaker's gonna have his maul ready to go.
I'll blow my steel sword.
Okay.
I am going to go through crouch low while having my bow drawn. Because I'm guessing, since I'm the last one, someone might have the idea to throw things at the heads of people that come through. And I'm going to be too low for them to hit.
All right, so you're crouching with your bow out. Bran, by the way, will be at the same height as Ven, because 9 years old. And has his short sword out. And, my last question, who is the first? Because I believe Portal, you have to go in one at a time. So who's the first one to exit?
Definitely not Ven.
No, because it's your spell, you kind of have to wait.
I'll do it.
All right.
Because I've seen him anyways.
So you exit in the kitchen of the Nilfgaardian embassy. It is currently unoccupied.
That's good. Oof. I'm just gonna
I'll
like
go
walk.
next.
Yeah, I'll walk a little further away. Not going very far though.
Do you try to stealth, or do you don't care?
Yeah, it's probably a better choice.
It's just
I'm
up
gonna
to
try.
like when you realize that there's no one. Like, do you try to avoid making noise or?
Yeah, I am gonna try to avoid making noise until we're all in there and make that active choice.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see. I was thinking reflexes. No, that's dexterity.
Yeah, stealth is under dex.
23.
You've got a 23. You walk a few paces away from the portal. Think of this kitchen as being a square room with a like a big island counter in the middle, and with countertops all around, with ovens and even what would be like a sink with like basic rudimentary plumbing. There's in back of you to your left, and I'll describe it for everyone. Back of you to your left, when you exit the portal, is a walk-in pantry. And ahead of you, in the center of the wall, that's right ahead of you as you exit, is the door. It's a there are no doors, but it's a door frame that leads to what will be the dining room beyond that, and then the rest of the embassy. So you're the first coming out. Breaker, you were the second.
Mm-hmm.
Breaker comes out. Did you do anything specific?
Kind of looks around. Then he sniffs the air. Then walks slowly to the pantry.
All right. Fourth.
Looks inside.
Okay. Well, since you're all coming out like in quick succession, I'll just ask everybody else before moving on to like other actions. Who's the? Well, Sisha would be the fourth, or Bran.
Third.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. So Sisha comes out.
Then Bran, then Ben.
Okay. Sisha, do you do anything upon exiting the portal?
I would move quickly to the side
Okay.
of the portal.
I forgot to ask for Breaker and Sisha, and even Ven, when you're gonna be on the other side, do you all go in silently? Or
Yes.
Pretty quiet. I'm very
He'll try to.
nervous.
Not as
then make your stealth check, please.
8.
$19.
Everyone believes they're super stealthy.
you might hear
Some
like
of
a
you
basket.
actually are.
Yeah, you might find a basket falls down, and you guys look to the pantry, and Breaker comes out, and he's like, got strings of cured meats around him.
Like a bandolier
He's
of
like-
sausages.
Yeah. He's got some cheese and stuff. He's like, I'm a stress eater. What do you want?
Ven is like rummaging through and taking all of the very sharp knives she can find.
As you're looting the kitchen, can you all make an awareness check, please? I'm looking for a DC 18.
Heck, I'll drop 3 luck on there. I don't need to.
Sisha, you notice when Breaker went out of the pantry before the door closed back. Inside the pantry are a few jars and herbs that clearly are not used for cooking. Some of them, you identify them as herbs and maybe like 3/4 of the ingredients to create bombs and certain Witcher potions.
She would try to shove them all into her potion, her component pouches, as quickly as she could.
All right.
Good thing I didn't dip the cheese in that, eh?
You would have regretted it.
That would have been a problem.
Like, he breaks part of like this long, foot-long salami and like hands it to Ovos. Eh?
No, I'm good, but thank you.
Can you write?
Yourself.
Can you write on your sheet, Sisha, that you've got 2 green mold? 5 Zeracanian powder. 2 phosphorus and 2 verbena.
Alrighty.
While this is taking place, Ven and Ovos, do you do anything in the kitchen? Oh, Ven, you were rummaging for the knives. You got a set of 5 very sharp butcher knives.
Nice.
And a
going to
meat
just-
cleaver. I'll add a meat cleaver to that.
Nice. I'm just using telekinesis to like float one around and sort of get a feel for it.
I'm probably just advising Bran on how to swing.
Okay. Yeah, with his height, like, he can't really aim for the throat. he can
Yeah.
try, but it's harder for him. So yeah, he would definitely need coaching on.
Tell him to go for the legs.
Breaker's gonna put his ear to the door leading outside to see if he can hear anything.
There is no door leading outside of the kitchen.
Oh.
It's an opening.
Okay. He's gonna try to stealthily look out into the hall.
Beyond the kitchen lies the very well furnished dining room with an elaborate table carved out of ebony, with comfy chairs covered in leather, upon the back of which is engraved the symbol of the Nilfgaardian Empire, the burning sun. This room has another exit on the opposite end and one on the left. The one on the opposite end seems to lead into a sort of study, perhaps, living room. And then when you look for the other exit, it leads to a hallway, probably towards the entrance of the embassy.
Well, it looks like we don't have any company. Sorry. There's no one fucking there.
All right. So we just move. Yes.
You move where? The dining room? The other room? The hallway?
A question, and I don't think it's going to work because we were all in the sewers, so we all probably smell pretty strong. But
Yeah.
I was going to see if the Witcher scent, like the Witcher smells, could pick up the scent of anyone walking through the embassy that had been in the sewer.
It's gonna be harder. I'll let you do awareness with a -4.
Mm.
I'm looking for a 14. Is that with the minus?
That's before.
Okay. So unless you have 4 points of luck to burn,
I have 4 points of luck that I could use, but I have a feeling with all these cards in play, I'm going to need them later.
unfortunately, due to the smell of the whole group, you pick up different smells in the house, but you couldn't say if they're because of, like, potted plants, flowers, or even just perfume that's been, like, sprayed around the house to make it smell nice.
Am I able to take a swing at it from being close to him and also knowing what, like, after having hit him with the daggers, would I know what his blood smells like if it was in the area?
Make an awareness check.
All right. No, that's a 7. And so it begins.
He is not.
Breaker
in the
has some
area.
really funky cheese who's like right by you.
I hit Breaker.
What? Hey, it's perfectly good cheese.
You're being stupid, and I am hunting.
Speaking of stupid, I have an idea.
That's
Simon,
not how you should start a sentence.
Are there any like jars of olive oil here? Because there's a pantry and kitchen.
I mean, olives are probably found somewhere in Nilfgaard.
Uh-huh.
They could have probably imported some. I'll roll a D100,
Mhm.
and under a 40.
Okay.
Yep. There's a jar of olive oil.
Okay, how big is it?
It's like the size of a mason jar. Like you can hold it in one hand, no problem.
Yeah, this will work in a pinch, and he'll put it in his satchel. Right. So, are we gonna choose a room, or are we just gonna stand here?
Why was your bad idea taking a jar?
Yeah, it's oil. It's not much of it, but could cause a slip, or we could burn someone with it. It's an idea.
You're weird.
And practical. You gotta use what you got around you. And besides, the sausages are for dogs anyway, just in case we come across any.
You're weird. And he just, I guess, waits to see if everyone wants to proceed forward.
Yeah, I think we should probably move as quickly as possible in here, while not attracting too much attention.
You make your way
Wait,
to which room? Yes.
I'm just trying to think. No, she wouldn't know where the offices were. She wouldn't have ever been in here. Probably. I mean, could she look out into the hall, see if there's any rooms that are guarded?
Looking into the hall, you see that the hall itself leads straight to the well, it opens up, I should say. And the reason why it looks more like a hall in the first place is because of the staircase that leads upstairs. But otherwise, it opens up into the front of the embassy, where you clearly see the entrance and two other rooms on each side. There are no guards. There is a suit of Nilfgaardian armor, but it is a decorative suit of armor.
And she would look behind her to Van and Novos and say, anybody have a preference, left or right?
No preference. No.
Van? Can you shoot better in one direction? I don't know. I don't fire bows. So I guess Sisha would kind of creep down the hall and open up the door on the left.
All right. Open the door to the left. It leads to a what's the name for it?
Parlor?
Yes, thank you. To a parlor. There is no one in the parlor at the moment. It stands empty, though you notice that on a low table there is an open book with a marker inside, a page marker inside, a half-drank glass of wine, and an opened bottle of wine on that same table. Otherwise, the walls are laden with either shelves that contain trinkets from Nilfgaard. There is a portrait of the Emperor, and a bust of the Emperor, and also a portrait on the opposite wall of the one that has Emira's portrait is a portrait of the current ambassador in Novigrad. This lady that you saw with the hair up in a bun.
Real quick before we move on, can I just take a real quick look at the floor to see if there are any scrape marks? As if something swung out over the carpet or the wood?
Yeah, you take a few minutes to look. I'll just ask everybody else what they want to do during that time.
Mm-hmm.
If she's just looking around, I will try to peek into that other room.
The one on the
Breaker's
opposite
gonna.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breaker's gonna check behind the paintings for any false walls or anything.
I'm gonna practice signs with the child. I'm gonna practice the Igni sign.
Yeah, he has a lot of trouble bending his fingers properly.
Mm-hmm.
But he tries to follow along with what you do.
And I'll do that thing where it's like closing their hand to like make the proper.
Yeah. And you see like the fingers when you release your hand, like the fingers twitch and slowly unbend. Because he still has like not a whole lot of manual dexterity yet. Then you open the other room, you peer into it. The other room is a study. The kind of study that you would show visitors to prove how educated you are, how high society you are. You've seen these books elsewhere. Like it's always the same thing. Like treatises on war and a few books on medicine. There's a lot of history books, a few Oxenford philosophers. But like you find a like at a glance a handful of like poetry books, but of course it's all the like accepted poetry works in high society. Like, it really is there to impress mostly. The furniture in this room is just two high back chairs that are positioned to both be facing the windows of the, not directly, just like diagonally a bit, but facing the windows of the embassy outside into the streets. And you can see that outside there is a guard guarding the embassy. His back is turned to you, and he's, you know, staring at the streets and just standing at attention.
I'll just slowly close the door, just in case he decides to turn around. And say, well, there does not seem to be anyone in that room.
And during all of that, in the parlor, Sisha, you do not find any scratch marks on the ground. Even lifting like the carpet a bit to see if there wouldn't be like a trapdoor or something, there's none.
So she'll come out and just say to Venenovos and Breaker, you know, nothing there either.
It's a mess, isn't it?
Is there stairs? Is there another
Yep,
door
stairs
besides the
leading up.
kitchen?
Like I said earlier, the corridor that led to the entrance, like the reason why it looked like a corridor is because you have these stairs leading up.
I guess up we go. So Sisha will start climbing the stairs carefully.
All right. I will use my Dijkstra card.
It's very aptly named.
And I will negate all of the carefulness that you went through up to now. And say that hidden at the top of the stairs was someone waiting for you. And the moment that Sisha approaches the top of the stairs, she might, because I still need to roll for it, get whacked in the face
Can only be an improvement.
by a sword. There we go. So, you're still free to try to dodge out of the way or anything, but because this takes you by surprise, there's a penalty to your dodge, and that would be... I just want to make sure that it's not like... it's a -3.
Okay. I will actually spend 3 to keep it at a 19.
Okay. So just as the blade came around to essentially hit you at like neck height or thereabout, like on a 5'6" individual would be the next. So in your case, it's lower, but you managed to just like matrix dodge your way out of it, and you hear the footsteps of someone and the door closing shut.
Sisha would turn and catch everybody else's eye and just say, "Found someone," and take off after the footsteps in that direction.
I'll charge
I
behind.
go after. Yeah.
All right. You make your way into a bedroom, or what should have been a guest bedroom. When you open the door, Ven would immediately, well, probably Sisha and Ovos as well, recognize a telecommunicator in the corner of the room.
Like a megascope?
A megascope, yeah. It's not on at the moment, but everything's there to use the spell in the megascope. The bed and all of the furniture has been pushed against a wall, and in the middle of the room is this big, glowy, orange standing portal.
I don't know about you, but I think that's an invitation.
Well, don't be rude. Go ahead.
All right. Ah! And he charges through.
I really
Okay.
didn't think he would go, to be honest.
You probably, yeah.
I
I
thought
was
that
going to suggest pushing some sort of explosive through.
I thought I tried to make a joke. I don't think I'm good at this.
I think
I
you're
think-
definitely not.
I think both of you should refrain from interpersonal matters.
Yeah.
Just entirely.
Probably it won't happen, but it's probably smart. I don't necessarily make things people call good choices.
Well, it's time for you to make another bad choice then. After you.
And then he walks through.
Sisha would follow.
Bran looks at Ven. It's like, are portals common?
No. So you're a very lucky child to get to go through 2 in one day.
Yay.
I'm about as enthusiastic as you are, trust me. But if you stay here, you're likely to get arrested. Because we're trespassing.
You have never seen Bran run so fast through the portal. And do you also follow through, then?
Very cautiously.
On the other side of the portal, the first thing that hits you, Breaker,
Mhm.
is the cold.
Does it hit me though?
It's the temperature went from your average summer temperature in northern Poland, so probably somewhere along the lines of like 75, 80 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And it went down to like 20 degrees.
I'm from Kovier though.
Yeah, no, but you don't
Yeah.
suffer any penalties, but you do notice the extreme difference in temperature as you step out.
Ah. Correct.
Looking around you, you happen to be in a dungeon of some sort. An underground structure. Masonry, wall to wall, columns like pillars holding up the roof. The room itself is quite spacious, like a good 100 feet by 100 feet. And it's surprisingly not that dark, considering that a few torches have been lit to make a sort of path leading forward.
Kind of looks around and just kind of yells out, "All right, you rat bastard! Show yourself! I'm gonna use your fucking skull as my own personal mug."
Make a defense roll. Oh, I forgot I had a +3. With a -3.
Okay.
That's a fucking hell. Never mind. Yeah, beat a 10.
With like dodge, I guess.
Well, if you want, as a crossbow bolt. Comes from the darkness.
25.
Whistles past you. Passes through the portal. As everyone else is moving through the portal, Ven being the last, there's a crossbow bolt that just comes out of the portal and sticks itself to the back wall.
That seems about right.
You hear both Sisha, Ovos. Ven will be a bit echoey once you come out of the portal, but Breaker, you also hear it. After the bolt, footsteps running away again.
He's charging after him.
Okay. It comes from the direction where all the torches are lit. It seems like whoever shot at you, tried to hide before firing.
Yeah, he's gonna run, as fast as he can.
Okay. Who was the second one to go through the portal? That was Ovos, right?
Yes, it was.
Ovos, when you exit the portal, you notice Breaker running at breakneck speed into the dark.
You're breaking my heart.
Sisha would come through the portal and follow, she'll see Ovos and go follow Ovos.
He'll move that direction, but he's not sprinting.
Okay.
All right. Bren comes out after, and Ven comes out after. Everyone in this big, spacious room, and then make your way, following after Breaker. Breaker, you run through the row of torches. You notice a wall coming up as you reach the end of the room. There's a wide portcullis that is opened at the moment. The torches on each side of it, though, have been blown out very recently because there's still smoke coming out of them. You make your way through the portcullis into the dark? You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Just in case, do I see any of the gears or chains to this portcullis anywhere?
Yes, there's a pulley on both sides of the portcullis.
Okay.
To open and close it.
Alright, so in the mechanism, he's gonna look and he's gonna stuff as much sticky cheese in there to keep it open.
Okay. By the time you're done doing that, the rest of the group will have caught up with you.
Yeah.
So, Ovo, Sisha, Ven, you notice Breaker just stuffing cheese down the gears of the pulley to try to either grease them or make them
he wants
stick.
to get them stuck. Yeah. Just in case they decide it's a trap, which this probably is. Oh, Kika, you're mute. You're muted.
What?
Oh, you were muted.
No, I think my mic just wasn't picking me up.
Okay.
You could use a rock for that, you know.
I don't have a rock. And besides, if I smash it, the whole thing could go down, and we'd have to deal with that.
Oh no, not smash it. Just put the rock in the gear, so the gear is just on the rock.
Are there any rocks nearby?
Mm-mm.
I
Well,
think this is
no,
ice.
there are some, but it's nothing that would be small enough to fit in the mechanism, I should say.
Meanwhile, Ven is like the kind of person who has like rocks in her pockets.
Like pebbles.
Not like stones and stuff. She just collects random garbage.
So yeah, you could like add a stone to the cheese.
Just one. There, perfect.
Right, well, let's go. And he sprints off. That's the portcullis.
And Ven is gonna hang back and stand by Bran and like crouch down low next to him, like get on his level and say, "Now, I want you to stay by me because I am the person here that is most likely to actually have something to live for. So I will be the one most likely to get you out alive.
Well,
Not focus on killing, not focus on revenge, but get you out alive, okay?
Is she whispering that?
Yes.
Okay.
he says, "But I'm a Witcher. I'm going to fight."
Now, I can't stop you from doing what you feel you need to do, but if you do feel like things are getting a bit over your head, make sure that you live to fight another day because you have not yet reached your full Witcher potential. And you need to make sure you reach it, or else you won't be able to do as much good as you otherwise could.
And your sentence is cut short by a loud bang as Breaker sets off a trap.
Wait, what happened?
Well, you don't have any criminals in your group, so finding traps is very freaking hard. Breaker,
Mm-hmm.
you smell horrible and now glow in the dark.
What the?
Every
Stone's
Witcher,
name, what the fuck?
even Ven, can see you. And you hear the footsteps running away again.
He's gonna get his water skin out and try to douse himself.
Yeah, sure. It lowers the penalty a bit, but it'll take a week for the smell to stop.
Really?
Yep.
It couldn't have been spears or flaming oil. It had to be stink bomb.
Well, consider yourself lucky.
Yes, I think we should get a move on and not worry about how you smell, which was already questionable. Let's be honest.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Witchers. And he sprints off again.
So she will go in the direction of the footsteps.
By the time you believe you get closer to the footsteps, you, well, not that you get closer, but the echo is less. It dampened compared to earlier. You are in a half-destroyed room. In fact, you can even see through an opening in the top right corner of the room the day sky. And a cold breeze of air comes through. The opening is wide enough to let someone, like, squeeze through. The rest of this room is empty. Furniture has been smashed a long time ago. But all of you can notice on the wall, probably above like something that should have been important, a relief sculpture of the head of a griffin.
Is this the point where Sisha would pull the cavil and just go, fuck?
Probably. Welcome home.
If my mom's watching, I didn't just say that. Anyway. Sisha, I mean, the sight of that would probably draw her up really short. Seeing that on the wall, and she would be taken aback to the point where I think she would just be kind of standing there dazed and not continuing to follow where the footsteps went.
The footsteps actually are, you can hear them coming from outside.
Looks like we gotta get ourselves a climb. Anybody got any rope?
I just realized something, Simon. I'm on my home turf. I know this place. I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah, this section of the school, you had never been in before.
Because it was ruined already.
But, like, yeah, I'll let you know once you get to, like, a place that you recognize.
Okay. She would turn to Ven and Ovos and just say, we need to get outside. They're outside.
All right, let us have some fun.
Chase, chase, chase.
Yeah. In the interest of time, I will cut through the chase so that we don't bust by too much tonight.
Okay. After
what is about 10-15 minutes of chasing after this person, you manage to spot them before they head over outside of the Griffin School. Sisha recognizes the courtyard, recognizes where things are. You came up from what was an area where you've always been told that this place was disused. But the rumors at the school spoke of a room where if you ever captured a monster for like study or whatever, that's where they would be brought to. So it probably was that room that you spawned out of through the portal. However, this lone person wearing what happens to be Wicher garb, running away from you, is going straight out of the school and into where you underwent your trials. A place of power higher up on the mountain.
Yeah, at this point, Sisha doesn't even give a shit anymore. She is full out running after this person. Because she is triple pissed off as she can get.
Chena? Chena. Breaker?
Breaker sees him and just gives a roar and just tears off after him.
Ven?
Is Ven able to recognize that this place is a place of power?
I'd say once you get near it, yes. But right now he's just running up a mountain. Like, you're not within the place of power at this exact moment.
How well can I make him out?
He's like maybe 150 feet away from you. So like 100 meters, give or take. No, sorry, 50 meters, give or take.
I'm able to sort of like see if he might have like a bow on him. Like maybe not.
I'll give you that. You notice that there is a crossbow strapped to his back.
Okay, yeah, I should have remembered that. Heck, Ven is just gonna turn into a raven and fly after him, but also not. She's going to also like not get too high, so she doesn't make too much of a target of herself.
Define too high.
Actually, no. He'll probably just glance back down at us, so she will actually try to get as much height as possible. So maybe he won't notice her.
Okay. So you pick up and fly up higher into the sky. Ovos, what are you doing?
I'll go find Bran and say, we're going to follow those two, and then point at Breaker and Sisha and say, but we're going to be smart about it.
What does that mean?
It means if they charge in, it doesn't mean we do.
But what if something happens to them?
Then we help them, but we stay smart.
Okay.
That is how we survive. And he'll start like jogging in that direction, but again, not like sprinting to catch up with them or anything.
Which means that when we get to initiative, unless something changes, Ovos would arrive a turn later.
Simon, I have a question.
Yes.
I kind of want to try to get up close to this guy as much as I can, and even in fact like try to overtake him as he's climbing the mountain. Is there any way for me to do that?
To gain speed on them?
Yeah, just like, because I imagine Breaker's trying to like tear up this mountain. It's like stamina be damned.
It's going to be very hard.
Mm-hmm.
But give me an athletics check, actually.
Okay, so basic roll. Okay. 20.
He's very good at dodging out of the way and climbing, but you do manage to get within reach of his legs. Not enough to like grab him by the neck or anything, but like if you wanted to grab an ankle, you would be within range.
I want to try to like do that before he gets inside.
Okay. He's like cresting the mountain.
Gotcha.
So yeah, make an attack that'll be opposed by his roll.
What kind of attack is this? Is it like brawling?
That would be brawling, yeah.
Okay. I'm actually good at that. So I guess just fast strike, I suppose, or a charge.
Make it a charge.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm gonna spend one luck to meet it.
Okay.
He's just gonna shout, "I've got you, you fucking bastard!" Hit!
And what do you do once you grab the ankle?
So is he like climbing
Well, right
up
now
a cliff or anything?
he's trying to kick kick his way free.
It's like, I'm gonna try to like use my full weight to like drag him down if I can.
All right.
I'm gonna wrap around his leg.
Because you've got him grappled, he's not gonna make any progress right now, which means that Sisha would be able to get to where you are without a roll.
Okay.
Which means that Ven would be able to get to where you are flying, like high above, but would be like physically above where you are. And Ovos would be late.
Sisha would get there and get both hands on the back of his tunic, like into the belt, and just pull him down.
He is now on his back with Breaker holding onto a leg. And he is trying to reach for his sword and make both of you an awareness check. Actually, even then, you can make... You're too high for awareness, but you can make magical training.
$11.
Of course, it's a fumble. Why wouldn't it be?
I got a 21.
Yeah, well,
He's got a 20. He's casting a spell. Or he's about to.
I mean, Sisha would have, when she sees him reaching for the sword, she would have stepped on his hand anyway.
Oh, yeah, the hand that is reaching for the sword.
She would have stepped on that hand.
Yeah. He's casting with the other one.
Ven would see the spell.
Can I take the maul to try to like smash his hand with the other
Well,
one?
since you haven't noticed it yet, I'll let...
Okay.
Ven can probably, like...
Can I shout in my raveny raven voice, spell?
Spell!
Spell!
And we all wonder, what the hell kind of birds are around here?
Well, since ravens can actually, like, mimic speech...
They can mimic speech.
Yeah, so you would hear the word spell. Like, it's a bit deformed, but it clearly is the word spell. In which tongue, though?
Fuck. I feel like damn it, she probably would know it mostly in Elder Speech.
Okay.
So I'd hear it.
I
and
know Elder
understand it.
Speech. Yeah.
The dwarf does? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well,
I mean, he's been
Sisha's
with Chena, so.
Sisha's stepping on the hand, so.
Okay, so Sisha doesn't speak Elder Speech.
Sisha speaks Elder Speech, yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Yeah, she speaks in both.
you hear spell. So what I'll do is, instead of him having like the free go, we'll just roll for initiative, and if you beat him, you manage to act before the spell goes out.
Okay. 15.
Oh, now I roll a 20.
13. So both Sisha and Breaker can act before the spell, and Ven will act at the same time, depending on if there's still a spell at the end.
Right.
All right. So he's casting with the other hand, but he's still prone.
Yep.
She would take out one of her daggers, if possible. I'm not sure how I would roll for this. take out one of her daggers, flip it, and stick it straight through his palm into the ground on the other hand.
That would be an attack roll.
Okay.
He's going to try to move out of the way, so the spell is not going to work, but you might not be able to stab him if he manages to dodge.
Okay, so where's my freaking attack? Because I've only ever, been in combat once in this game. So melee, right?
Dagger is small blade.
Oh, duh, it's in my... So, God, I'm tired. Do I even...
It's not an extra attack.
Yeah, I didn't even... It says weapon name goes here because I never filled it in. So what exactly should I roll? Do you remember?
It's not in the weapons. It's in the actual skills.
Oh, it's in the actual skills.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Good. Because I didn't even put that in there. Small blades.
Yeah. And that would be a fast strike without anything special to it.
Mm-hmm. Come on. Why aren't you rolling?
I don't know, but you have to beat a 41.
What the shit?
He's got a 20? What the fuck?
First attack's a critical.
Yeah, so roll a d10. You might actually be, if you're lucky enough.
I won't be, but... Nah, it's 29.
Unless you have, like...
I don't have that much luck.
Yeah. So you went to stab his hand, and instead of finishing his sign, he moved his hand away so that you just stab the ground instead.
Mm-hmm.
But at least there's no spell going out.
Question, Simon.
Yes.
Do I recognize him?
Actually, no.
No? Okay.
He
question.
doesn't even have a medallion.
I thought you were going to be a dick and make it the person I didn't want it to be.
No,
All right, go
no. He doesn't have a Witcher medallion, though he's dressed in the Witcher garb of like a double woven gambazon, studded trousers. He only has one sword.
Right.
But he does have the cat eyes. So, that said, you tried to stab him. That sort of worked. You bothered him casting a spell. What is Breaker doing?
I have a question.
Yes.
Since it wasn't my turn to go yet, would I still have been wrapped around his leg?
You're still wrapped around the leg.
Okay, would that have affected his, like, dodge or anything?
The fact that he's prone has more penalties than the grapple.
Okay.
But also I have a +3 on everything. So it
yes,
kind of negated, yeah.
That's fine. Breaker's gonna get up, grab his maul, and is gonna try to stun the hell out of him while he's on the ground.
So you have to make a called shot. Do you call shot the torso or the head?
Well, I'm just like, he's just gonna like wail on him, so he's not really looking for like a specific spot.
But you have to hit the torso or the head to stun.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Then I'll just try to hit him.
Just a regular attack then?
Yeah.
Okay. So, he's gonna try to dodge again.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. I rolled a 17.
Me 3.
Roll for body
On both.
part.
Okay, so
Oh, right in the
Then-
leg that you were holding.
do I do the next one, or is that just the same spot twice?
No, do the... I'll try to dodge the second one. Give me a second. You would hit the second one.
Okay.
That's just... Wow.
The right
Fuck his
leg again.
kneecap.
Yeah.
Roll for damage?
Okay. 27 is AP, and then the second one is 28.
So he's got only... Instead of 12, he has 6. So he takes 21 and 22 divided by half times 2 because of the card we draw. So he takes... I said 22 and 21, so that's 33. Well...
Should be 43,
Yes.
right?
43.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, sorry.
Well, he's not dead, but he is owling in pain from the 2 blows to his right leg. For his turn, this strange witcher, while being completely prone, will... Sisha, you're still stepping on one hand, right?
Yes.
Okay. He'll lift the other hand up and say,
Mhm.
Wait! It's not me that you want.
Is Bran here yet?
Ven can still act, and then Ovos and Bren show up.
Okay. She just stares at him impassively.
Okay. And Ven?
And ahead of them, not too far away, but like between them and where he was going.
Alright.
Sort of like to cut him off.
You, are you also, like, flying down?
Yes.
Okay. As you fly down, like, to flank him, basically, you notice that beyond the crest of this mountain is an area that Sisha would know, between multiple broken pillars, like a dolmen type thing, is a stone, like, flat circular stone floor. It's been carved out of the mountain. Is where that, like, you see it and you feel it when you gaze upon it. That's one of these stones. If we were in the video game, is like the place you need to meditate to get the place
of power.
Yeah.
Better draw from it.
That's the place of power. But within the place of power are 2 figures. The Nilfgaardian woman that you saw the other day, and another person wearing a breastplate and several bandages.
How far away are they?
They're maybe like a good 100 meters, so like 300 feet from you. Like, you see them, but they're like tiny.
Okay, 100 meters, right?
Yes.
Okay, I will land,
Mm-hmm.
turn back into an elf,
Mm-hmm.
draw a burrowing arrow,
Okay.
aim it at the bandaged guy, and fire.
Okay. That, because that would count as an extra action, it'll cost you 3 stamina.
I'm good with that.
And, go ahead. Take your shot.
That would be archery, correct?
The hell does... Yeah, archery. The hell does burrowing arrow does again?
You gave it to me, so...
Yeah, it's my bad for not writing in the description. Burrowing arrows.
Medium range. And I'll bump all my luck into that, if need be.
Yeah, you're within half range. Okay.
Yeah, I am. My range is 300 meters.
Ah, the borrower. Okay, it's 100% chance of bleeding. Okay, cool. Cool.
You sold them to me. I bought them with my money,
I know.
which you gave me.
He doesn't know that you're there, so he's gonna take a -3. You're within half range.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot about that. He can't dodge it. It's like with the, firing, firing DCs for, so that would be a DC 20 because he doesn't know that you're there. Do you have enough luck to bump it up to a 20?
Yes, I do.
Because you would need to.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Alright. So you, snipe an arrow. Roll for body part, please.
Okay, how do I do that?
There's a button that says, like, hit location.
Target location.
Yeah, target location. Straight through the
Torso.
torso. Roll for damage.
That is... Oof. 10. That was a really bad roll.
The arrow lodges itself in the armor, but does not do enough. Well, 20. Actually, that's 20 because it's post armor. Yeah, no. Sorry. Not enough. It lodges itself in the armor, but it doesn't pierce it.
I should have cast Cadfan's Grasp on that first.
That person is now aware that you're there and turns around to look in your general direction. But before they react, Ovos and Bran finally get to where Sisha and Breaker are holding this unknown Witcher pinned to the ground.
Sisha, as soon as she sees Bran run up, will say, "Small Witcher, is this your former master?
Mm-mm.
Do you know who this man is?"
Mm-mm. I have never seen them in my life.
So she'll look at Ovos and kind of jerk her head up towards the place of power. Join you in a minute.
Come on.
Who is
And I guess we'll just make our way up.
Okay.
Unless he wants to stay. I'll leave that up to him.
Breaker,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do?
It's like, you fucking shot at me. Does he say anything?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I figured I was looking everywhere at once. I... You weren't supposed to be here.
Are you with the fucking rat?
No. I just follow orders.
Whose orders?
Quick, my notes. Gwen.
You better hurry the fuck up if you don't want your fucking face caved in.
Lady Abgwiddle. Lady Abgwiddle. I just follow her.
He just looks to Shisha. I don't care about this one. You deal with him. I'm going up there. Good luck walking with that leg, son. And he kind of like pats it.
Ow!
And then heads up.
As Breaker leave, you notice, Sisha, that the cat eyes begin to fade. and turn back into regular eyes. Muted.
She'd kneel down, so she's like kneeling on his chest. Are you done pretending to be a witcher?
What are you
Was it
talking
fun?
about? What Witcher?
Did you enjoy yourself?
I have no idea what you're... I'm a bodyguard.
You're in witcher armor. You tried to have witcher eyes. You come out in a witcher school.
Is that where we are?
How do I tell if he's lying?
That would be human perception.
Okay. That is under empathy.
Under empathy, yeah.
Nope. She's like, it's your lucky day. I don't really have time to kill you.
Oh, don't leave me here.
Oh, no, you're definitely being left here. But we'll be back eventually. And she'll flip out her dagger and cut the Achilles tendon on his other foot. So he cannot walk.
He yelps in pain.
You'll survive. And then she runs up towards the place of power.
And you can just hear echoing in the mountain. All four of you. You hear a howl. A loud, "Fuck you!" Now,
I mean, yeah.
Breaker just gives.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair.
now about Ven and Ovos, who are cresting and Bran cresting the hill. You notice Ven. The other person that was with, that is still with the guy you shot at, begins to wave her arms around and is casting a spell.
Oh gosh, can I shoot her too?
She's gonna have her turn first.
Okay.
Darn.
And she spins her arms around, and the clouds begin to gather over the place of power. They begin to rumble. And I'm going to ask everyone, even the guy on the ground, everyone to roll a D100. If you roll a 35 or under, you are struck by lightning.
$94.
Can I make a resist magic roll?
After.
Okay.
It's only if you're struck by lightning.
Because why not? Why the shitting on?
So, Sisha, you can try to dodge from this lightning. It's against her spellcasting. So DC is... Let me grab her thing. 15. Do you still have a luck point?
Yes, I do. I will dodge it.
Alright, you narrowly avoid a lightning bolt. That would have struck you. And she's casting that and holding like a hand up in the sky to keep focusing on the spell, as the other person in the breastplate turns around, the one with the bandages and everything, and draws a short-ish sword. You recognize him, Ovos. as being Eisen, the master.
That's the one we want to kill. Okay.
He doesn't have your knives still stuck in him.
Where are my knives?
That's a good question.
That's all he cares about. Literally, that's the only reason he's here. Oh, he's mad.
I'm gonna ask everyone to reroll for initiative. This one is a 7. So 15, 18, 17, 17, 16, and... Oh, yeah, they have. So that would be 19 for her. And 13 for him. So it'll be the mage, so the ambassador, and then Breaker, the 2 Witchers, Ven, and then the Hyzen. And of course,
But they
Bran
just
plays
went.
last. Huh?
But they just went. They cast that big spell.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That would have been her turn. So then that would be Breaker's turn.
Alright, Breaker's gonna look around, see the guy in the armor, and charge him and try to wail on him.
He's 100 meters away.
I'm gonna run.
So charging, I'll let you know how close you can get within a turn. And you can probably, unless you can also try to burn through a lot of your stamina to get there. Running like crazy. Yes, Kitan, people are running. It's 3 times your speed. So then your run, the run stat that you have on your sheet. What is it?
21.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's 21.
21? So you can get 21 meters. So within like 5 turns, you'd be on him. Unless he moves closer.
I have no ranged weapons.
You start running.
Okay. Start running. Can I take an extra action to run again?
Oh, it's only an extra attack. Sorry.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna run at him.
Okay. What about then the 2 Witchers?
Get as close as I can.
Okay,
I
again.
don't know how.
Huh?
I don't know how far away directly I am from him.
Well, it's, let's say, 100.
Hmm.
So you reduce that by your run.
Okay.
And that's how close you get at the end of your turn.
That makes sense. Okay.
Sisha?
I mean, I guess she would run as close as possible.
Okay.
So, not that close. But she will take a pot shot at the mage with her crossbow. I'm checking to see if the crossbow range... Nope, it's not close enough. Sorry.
What's the range?
50 meters.
50? Yeah, you would need to cover a bit of a... Well, no, you could try at extreme range, but it's a DC 30.
I mean, why not? I'm not doing anything else except running.
Alright, that would be an extra action, though, so you would...
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it wouldn't
stamina.
hit anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No, that's the damage.
Oh, that's the damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'll take 3 stamina hit on that one.
Okay. So, roll
I'm hoping to interrupt her spell, but...
Okay, that would be in skills and modifier.
Mm-hmm.
And then you roll, roll your archery skill.
There's a crossbow skill.
Oh, there's a
too.
crossbow? Sorry, crossbow then.
And, there's a crossbow skill? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Oh, wait, that is an extra action, right? It's my extra action.
Yes.
So, okay, this should do it for me automatically then.
Uh-huh.
I love that I can choose my horse as the weapon. Come on. Yeah,
What?
no.
No, some
Yeah.
things.
Skill roll 1.
No,
So,
that
no.
doesn't.
Doesn't make
-3 for the extra action. Oh my. Okay, it already added the range and everything.
Yeah, I
That's
did it
cool.
at extreme range.
Yeah. Okay.
So I miss.
Yeah.
Alright. So,
But you still tried to take a shot at her, and you keep running. That would be Ven's turn now.
I'm gonna dispel this spell.
What's the range of this spell?
Oh dang, it's 10 meters. Dang. I guess I'll just walk. You know what? I'm just gonna fucking shoot her with another arrow.
Her? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot her with an arrow. And heck it, another burrowing arrow.
That would be, you're within your range, so it's a DC 20.
Medium range. Come on, hit. 17.
You don't have luck anymore?
I have 2 luck.
You narrowly miss her. The other person's turn. They look at the mage. Well, we know it's Aizen now, so I can call him Aizen. Aizen looks at the mage behind him, mouths something, turns back to you, all of you, and draws forth a bunch of papers that he proceeds to rip apart in pieces. And that's his turn. Going back up at the top of the round, everyone roll percentage. Do 100 to see if you're hit by lightning. Again, if you roll under a 35, you get hit by lightning.
Hey, all good.
Yeah, all good. I forgot I have to roll for them as well. The only one that's safe is the mage. You make your way closer. Or
Running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run as much as I can.
You've basically covered almost halfway, I think, for all of you if you're just running. Ven, what do? You're still at 100 meters.
I guess I'll start walking closer.
Walking or running?
I also want to fire at... I want to shoot again on this mage. Because I really want to hit this mage.
Alright. So you run you walk a little bit closer, basically your walking speed, whatever your speed is, and fire again.
And come on, hit 20.
That hits. Roll for the body part.
Target location, right leg.
Right in the leg. I think she needs to make a well, the equivalent of a concentration check.
18.
Yeah, okay. It just says that The mage must focus on maintaining the spell and cannot cast other spells while they are maintaining the spell, but I don't think that the damage stops anything. Let me see. Attacking mages. Being interrupted. Okay. Oh, that's for rituals. Okay. Yeah, so in this case, it doesn't... it's not gonna make her stop casting.
But being dead will.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to look at the HP. Because I'm afraid. So you've dealt 36 points of damage. Oh, no, times 2 and then divided by 2, so just 18. 18 flat.
Yep. But she's gonna be bleeding.
Yes, she is actively bleeding from the leg.
Right in the femoral artery.
Yeah, she doesn't like that at all.
Good.
Like, who would like to be shot at anyway? But, she's especially allergic to, bleeding. 2 points of damage each turn. Alright. That was your turn. The other person with the short sword, Hyzen, puts themselves in like a attacking stance, like ready to receive the charge. She, on the other hand, does not care, and nobody needs to roll for lightning. She stops that spell, dead in its track. She looks at all of you with the arrow in her leg and teleports away. Hyzen is pissed scared. We'll lift initiative until you reach him.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, it would take 2 turns. I don't know if Ven or Sisha, you want to take pot shots at him as you're moving forward.
Sisha just wants to get to him.
Okay.
Got him. I'm just gonna fly on over.
Okay. So you cover, all 4 of you, the last 50 meters. What do you do when you get within reach of him?
Breaker just shouts, "I finally found you, you fucking coward!" And he's just gonna like twirl his maul and then just go for a sideways swipe.
Are you calling a shot?
No,
Okay.
he's just like furious wild, but it is gonna be a strong strike.
Okay. Oh shit. He's going to try to parry. He doesn't really want to die. Because, you know, dying is bad.
21. Do I need to put in a luck point, or...?
No, just roll for damage. But
Okay.
roll a body part.
Okay.
Alright, in the leg.
What is with me and legs today?
I don't know. Maybe it's because you're a dwarf and you can't roll any higher.
19.
Armor
Armor piercing.
Armor piercing. So 19 minus 3, that's 16. So he takes 16 points of damage.
Okay. Dang it.
He
I have 3 ones in there.
basically falls down to one knee, looking at the 4 of you. He's like, is this how it ends?
Yes. Sisha would get up to him and she'd look at Ovos and she says, "May I?"
I just wanted my knives.
We can search him afterwards. Just he might have them still. But she will step up to him and she goes, "No, friend, that's not how it ends." And for any of you who have played Witcher 3, she is going to put her hand on his metal armor and do what Geralt does to that one guy and Igni the shit out of it. And basically roast him in his own iron armor.
He starts to cook inside his armor as he says, I just wanted to keep the Witchers alive.
No, you didn't.
You are all
Yeah,
monsters.
she sits there. She sits there and watches the whole time.
Yeah, he begins by going into like a rage and calling you monsters, calling you the plague of the world. And that your kind will be soon a thing of the past.
Are we in combat?
Huh?
Or are we still in combat right now?
More or less. I mean, if you want
Okay.
to interrupt me, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, it's okay. It just like while he's doing that, I guess Breaker would try to tip him onto his back and stand over him, if possible.
As he's being burned alive in his armor.
Mm-hmm. He's just gonna like look at him and say, "Your monster killed my friend, but I want to see the monster under that fucking skin." And he's gonna like take the guy's jaw and try to pull as hard as he can.
Jeebus. You can make... That would be like raw strength. Go with physique.
I just want to make sure everybody's okay with that or not.
It's graphic, but you can just, I mean, if you just say it happens, I guess.
I mean, you
Well,
can
well,
master
well-
the hell out of him if you want, but as long as Chad is okay
Yeah.
and everybody here.
I think I'll just like take the maul against his head. It'll be better, I think.
Less graphic.
Yeah.
You pick up your maul, and as he begins to, you know, switch his dialogue from, you're all monsters, you don't deserve to be here, you will be a thing of the past. He switches to, I just did what anyone would do. I'm, like, he goes from, you know, making himself seem as a victim, but before he goes into any, like, further dialogue, you scrunch his face with the mole. The armor is white hot. In fact, Sisha, your hand, remind me, does your hand need to be on it?
Its Igni goes out, so no, it doesn't.
Okay. So yeah, it retained its shape, but is very much white hot and even hissing. With that done, the papers that he tore. Yes, Ven?
Oh, I was just gonna say, while everyone else was distracted, Ven would probably go and try to draw from that place of power.
Sure. That takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, but she probably just looks like a bird that's sitting roosting.
And you would need to make a spellcasting check, if I remember right.
22.
Uh,
That's enough, right?
oh yeah, no, you don't. You don't need to. It's 3 full turns to focus.
Okay.
This is an air-based place of power, and so you can decide. Do you want the benefit, or do you want 5 units of fifth essence?
I want the benefit.
The benefit is that your vigor threshold for air spells goes up by 5.
Nice.
And your spellcasting is considered 2 points higher for air magic for another hour. And you also gain 10 XP to be used only to learn new air magic.
It's a good thing that's my specialty.
And while you do that, while Hyzen finally dies, you realize that the 5 of you are on a mountaintop somewhere in the world. And that the portal is probably not there anymore.
I don't suppose anybody knows what the fuck we are.
Not a clue.
Sisha does, and she just stands up and starts walking home.
Back into the school.
Yes.
And I think with a shot of Sisha walking away from the group, we'll end our season 1 of The Witcher.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah. I mean, you do have, like, I'll assume that Ven can portal everyone out of there, like, you're not stuck on a mountain forever.
I mean, if
Yeah.
I choose to.
That would suck.
I mean, I could teleport myself away. I could just fly away. People haven't exactly been polite to Ven.
Well, I guess we'll see in the future. But that said, we did go over quite a bit. Hello, Lauren. Sorry you got here at the very end. But we did go over quite a bit today. So, you broke the leg of my Witcher.
He wasn't a Witcher.
No, but I was using Letho of Gullet's stat for that Witcher. That didn't go well.
Oh well.
Makes sense.
It was a good choice.
Yeah, I
no
mean...
no one expects the leg grab.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be a fight with, like, a mage and a witcher. Like, for once, the group is gonna fight a group of people, and, like, they're gonna have to think, and... Well, you say that, Bill, in chat, that Litho is a beast, but Litho just took 43 points of damage out of his 50 hit points in one fucking turn.
And he's
So-
not going anywhere for a while.
Yeah. But it's not the real Letho. It's just the stats of. So that said, let's just go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you on the internet, what you have going on in your lives. We'll begin with Kayla.
Hey guys, I'm Kale RPG. You can find me on twitch.tv and twitter.com at Koros RPG, Coros RPG. I'm a writer and a kind of just a general game nerd. So if you're interested, I'm going to start streaming not this week, but next week. And my schedule will be up there. But thank you, Simon, for having us all for this. This was fun.
You're very welcome. Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly the Opera Geek. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, everywhere at the Opera Geek. I do stream multiple games. And yes, I think this is my last stream for a bit until we start Dragon Age again next month on Thursdays back on this channel.
That's true. You're not streaming on yours?
No, I'm streaming on mine. I play multiple games on mine, but not
Okay.
TTRPGs.
Not TTRPGs.
No, I'm still building Care More in Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay. And Kika is next.
Hi, I'm Kika. I am a diversity consultant, diversity panel organizer, writer, game designer, biochem person now that I'm out of school. And what else? I have so many hats. I used to be a games journalist, and now I'm an aunt. As of this weekend, you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/KikaVO, and you can find me on Twitch, streaming most days except Thursdays and Fridays at twitch.tv/Kika. That's twitch.tv/KIKKA. I am presently streaming my first ever playthrough of Hollow Knight, and you can find my my one-page, two-player tabletop role-playing game about communication at what was it? I'll just link it in the chat. I'm done. And thank you very much, Simon, for having me on this game. It's been wonderful. I really enjoyed the system. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. Glad you enjoyed it. And last but not least, Gabe.
Hi, I'm Gabe James Games on Twitch, Twitter, and pretty much anywhere else on the internet. You can find me tomorrow on the finale of my Zweihander campaign on Encounter Roleplay. You can find me Sunday on the Gilding Light channel, playing in the Magical campaign run by Lily Sparks. And then in the future, I might be on the Scraticus channel on Monday nights, playing in a new campaign, but I will post about that more on Twitter.
Cool. Thank you, everyone, for coming, by the way. Thank you, players, for agreeing to play in this campaign. And thank you, everyone who hung out in chat during our 8 past weeks, yes. Thank you to everyone who followed, who donated. Tonight is the last day for that we were raising money for the Balefon project. I forgot to mention it. I know the mods did an incredible job in chat. But we raised a total of $445.69, of course, cents for the Balefon project. So thank you for your generosity, everyone. Thank you so much for your donations.
Just a second, Simon.
Yes.
Just so you know, the entire charity team, just crossed the $347,000 mark.
Yay!
Like
Thank you
literally
so
just
much.
now, the ticker went over.
That's awesome. I did not check the team goal before the start of the stream tonight. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming. You can find me again on Thursday here for some Sisterhood of the Magical Blade, where we're going to continue our Magical Girl game. Which, by the way, not this week, but next week, we should have a guest on that game. So keep an eye out for that. If you like anime, if you like weird comedy anime, I guess I would call it, come by on Thursday. On Friday, we're still playing Cyberpunk Red. We're at our 3rd session of our 2nd season, so be sure to come check that out. And on Saturday, this Saturday, we're not going to do anything because 4th of July, but next Saturday is the finale of our Black Flag, our Ripscallion campaign. Well, finale of the 1st season. So come check that out. Otherwise, last bit of news, I now have a Patreon. If you're interested in that in helping me build a thriving community. If you are interested in the things that I make and the games that we play and all of that, be sure to check out patreon.com/wonderingdm. And thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to all of our sponsors. It's already 11:30, so we're gonna get going. But yes, I hope you had a good time. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.